Yeah,
Boo.
that was a pretty good set, or not set. It's a pretty good game of this set for Battlecast.
Adrenaline MVP.
I'm thinking that. I think we can kind of look at our options real quick, see what all everybody managed to get done. Adrenaline with 24,000 damage, actually the most damage on his team, out damaging even his 80 carry. But yeah, I think Adrenaline MVP that game. He was pretty phenomenal, running just in and out and getting so much done for his team. On that Zinzao pick, really took the aggressive plays to Rockport.
Yeah, and especially shutting down Heat Viper. I mean, Heat Viper probably got caught at least 3 times, like just going to put a ward down. And then even though he landed the snare, you just see Zen come through with the phase rush, and he just was not able to get out. He just
Yeah.
kept dying to Zen and solo kills.
Yeah, they got the he was shutting down Heat Viper. He was making sure Hunter T Noob couldn't get anything done against the Ornn. He was constantly getting good work done. So yeah, definitely I think Adrenaline MVP of game one. This is a guy that always talks pretty big, never comes around because he's had a lot of rough time with work, but he is here today and yeah, subbing in for Bubble Boy, doing pretty good for Battlecast right now.
Sorry, I'm just reading general chat. I don't know if you saw.
No.
I don't know who Extraordinaire is since AMP keeps changing their stupid names.
That's Bliss.
Oh, okay.
It's in his profile picture. It says Bliss.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. I guess I didn't look at that. Because I just see that they have a different name every day, and I'm just like, I don't know who this is anymore.
Yeah. It's hard to tell.
One day I'll become an admin by getting with one of the current admins on hard work and determination. Or you can become an admin by applying at 3-0 today and interviewing with Ham. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe I should apply so I didn't have to have the issue where you had to actually create the channel that I could join.
Yeah, that'd be nice because, again, 3-0 does need help for next season. For those of you that don't know, next season, as far as we know, is still planned, but we definitely could use more adminship.
Oh yeah, we need more admin. I'm looking for some more casters, possibly another streamer. We definitely need to up our stuff. All right, Battlecast has chosen blue side.
You know what? I'll also. Joking.
The only problem, though, is Bliss, is that if you are going to be an admin, unfortunately, our rule will still be enforced. If you are admin, you cannot, unfortunately, play in the league. Which is kind of the double dagger if you're going to help out the league. Unless by chance,
That rule is never changing.
Yeah, I was going to say. Maybe you might be lenient to some players.
You're not playing in the league. No.
But I want to be known as the top leader again.
Well, you can drop from admin then.
Okay. I'm gone. Bye.
Goodbye, DHA. It's been good. Oh, he actually left. Oh, he's back.
I hope they heard that disconnect.
No, when streamer mode is on, it mutes Discord besides people talking.
No, that's no fun. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I don't know when he hears me RQ.
Yep, that's a shame.
Feels bad.
Feels very bad. Hey, thanks for the 1 bit, Bliss. Definitely. Oh boy.
Oh yay, another 1 bit. Woo! This is gonna be like how many 1 bits you can donate.
He's donated 29 bits today. I've got 29 cents off of him today. Not all in chunks of 1, but he did a couple like 11 or 12s.
No, that is the only thing about that. Like, while it is nice that we get bits, it's like somebody that could, like, if they wanted it just to be obnoxious, they literally could just keep donating 1 bit.
Yeah, hey, thanks for the
1
one bit there, Wiz.
bit. 1 bit.
You're the real MVP. You're the best of the one bitters.
Like everybody else gives us 1 bit. Actually, I think it's more like 10 most of the time. At least from what I remember.
Yeah, I see a lot of 10 and 11s.
Like, how do like what I want to know is like how people even like get those. Like just
You
10
can watch
bits.
ads, and it gives
Oh.
you a small chunk of bits for watching it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I don't even know.
Yeah, that's what I expect you to do, and I expect you while we're playing to just watch the bit ads and just give them all to us, DHA. You need to work double time here.
Oh, okay. See, I already, well, I don't know if I get bits, but I already watch ads because, Twitch Prime is stupid now.
Thanks for the 2 bits, Ezio.
I don't even have any bits.
Alright. Bliss with another 10. Woohoo! I've made almost $1 today. This is exciting.
They have moving emotes. Kappa winks at you. PogChamp turns both sides.
Hey, Bliss finally giving a meaningful contribution. A whole $1. Thanks, Bliss. Appreciate you.
A whole
It's
dollar?
all, it's all meaningful contributions.
Spam this poodle to help out Doodle. Doodle's not even here. Andy, what are you going on about? You okay, bud?
Yeah, I don't know where Doodle's at, but he's not here.
Yeah, he's not only not here, but on top of that, I don't even know if he's like in the Discord even.
Yep. We are looking like we're ready to go into game 2 though. It
needs to be next week already.
I mean, I can't wait for Halloween.
Oh, I don't care about Halloween. I care about my new phone.
Yeah.
Even though it's an old phone, I'm finally getting my new phone that's actually going to be a good phone. Galaxy S6.
Hey, Galaxy.
Yeah.
I have Galaxy S7 active.
See, after years and years of trying to find a cheap phone that might actually be useful, I have finally realized why the Galaxy Note, the Galaxy S, and the iPhone are the only 3 good phones out there. Because they are the only 3 good phones out there.
That is incorrect.
At least that I have found that actually do everything.
You have never heard of OnePlus then?
Nope.
That would be your issue.
The only other phone that I've heard of is the Razer phone.
It's a pretty good one. Has its issues, but it's pretty good. I enjoy mine. But no, if you need a real just budget top of the line phone, OnePlus is the way to go. It's got all the same specs as like the Galaxies, but for like $300 less.
What is it called? Like just the OnePlus?
Yeah, the newest one is going to be the OnePlus 6T, 6, and then the letter T.
You guys are talking about freaking iPhones, ew.
No, iPhone. What?
No, we're just talking.
We're talking about Androids. iPhones. Apple is one of the worst companies in the world right now. But let's not dwell on that. Let's talk about this pick ban. It's looking like the same pick ban from last game. To me.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're
same
changing much. That's not too bad. It's still a lot of money though, at least for me.
Is there a Xin Zhao ban coming out? No? What?
No, So KMD plays a lot of Zaya. Laser Trooper popped the hell off on Swain last week. And Na Yunjin plays a lot of Singe and is a very annoying pick that 100T noob might not know how to play against. So they might just have to settle for banning these 3 champions and possibly go over the Xin Zhao and other strong picks to Battlecast. And they're going to be first picking Karma.
Yeah, that could also be a mid Karma too, because I don't know if like Faithful does Faithful play Karma? I haven't seen him play it in a while if he does. Unless that's gonna be like a tank Karma. That'd be fun.
I've
Bring Tank Karma. Tank Karma.
Tank Karma can be pretty
Shut-
strong and annoying for sure.
Tank Karma is amazing. I really wish I could play it, but none of the teams that I was ever on ever wanted to let me play it. Because they like never wanted to believe in it.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I mean, my current team doesn't want me playing Draven.
That's another one. I wonder why. It's because
Yeah.
Draven's not.
But I'm a Draven one trick over here. Come on.
It's still Draven. It's looking like Rockport though, going back to familiar, grabbing the Lucian Alistar once again. They had a really good early part of last game with it, but definitely lost their advantage after about level 5.
They had Lucian Braum last time.
Oh yeah, they did have the Braum. But Alistar is a better support anyways than Braum. Shyvana picked up for Adrenaline.
Look at that. We've all had our stupid moments today.
Yeah, they happen.
I haven't yet.
That's because you're not talking. You just kind of
I don't
sit
want
there.
to. I don't want to interrupt you. That's why.
You just kind of
Talk
sit
about
there and
it.
enjoy the fact that me and Ham are both idiots.
Just got to interject. Just have something to say and interject with it. 'Cause we're gonna keep the pace moving if there's nothing else being said. But the Xayah picked up for King D yet again is one of his more comfortable champions. It was one of his staples last season. It's one of his staples this season. The Jhin and the Xayah for himself. Sejuani picked up for Shambear.
And it's kind of interesting that they went for the Shyvana though, with the Zen being open. I guess they're just changing their game plan and maybe trying something different. But it'll be interesting to see if they can still win because I mean, they've done this in the past where like they've tried something different and it doesn't always work out at the start, and they sometimes come away with the win. But being against Rockport, they're one of those teams where I mean, you try something new and make a bunch of mistakes, like they can still come out with the win. Especially with the champions that they play.
Yeah.
We got an Ornn ban. This is where we're seeing the differentiates from the bans from last game.
Yeah, it's just surprising that they banned out the Ornn. I mean, I guess I can see like them just banning out because of how ridiculously tanky the champion is.
Yeah, I mean, he was very tanky. He had a lot of really good ults as well. Really didn't let Battlecast down with his ults ever, besides, when he was stunned and couldn't actually recast. So I think getting rid of that is just fine, because 102 Noob did have a hard time finding an advantage in that matchup. But Urgot also being taken off the table means not sure what we're going to see top. Maybe a Scion.
Oh, it'll be Scion. It's probably going to be Scion and Cho'Gath, the two next standard picks. Especially since Garen is banned, unless Hunter T plays something else like Gnar or even another carry. But at the moment, with the picks that they currently have, any other carry other than Gnar, unless it's like a Jace, even Jace seems kind of weird, but a Nautilus, I guess they're going to go with a Nautilus top.
Sonic,
That's
where
a
are
pick I
you?
haven't seen in a while.
Sonic, is there Sonic in here?
Did Sonic log on to 100T's account?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking for a lot of really heavy engage with the Alistar, Sejuani, and Nautilus. A lot of lockdown, which will be pretty decent into Battlecast comp with the Shyvana and Karma. Not really
there's the Cho'Gath.
having a whole lot of counter opportunity there in the Cho'Gath to match.
Yeah, and Nautilus, despite what most people say, he is still in a pretty decent spot. It's just he's more definitely going to be pick reliant based on the champions that are being played. So like against this team, it's actually not too bad to play because Cho'Gath's not really going to be able to do much, at least to kill you, unless he's landing rupture after rupture.
Cho'Gath jungle. Cho'Gath jungle. Wait, no,
why-
no, wait.
No, it's
That's
gonna.
Cho mid.
It's either gonna be an Aatrox mid or a Cho mid.
That is a Cho'Gath mid.
It might be Aatrox mid though. Aatrox is really good in the mid lane. I don't know if Business Trooper plays it.
I think he has played Cho'Gath before.
Business
though,
Trooper
hasn't
has been playing a lot of Aatrox mid lately, and by a lot, I mean I've seen 4 games on his list. So this is what I expect them to play: is that Aatrox mid lane, and just keep the tank up top where they can expect it to do well. Because I don't think Nayun plays Aatrox.
he?
Nayun does not play Aatrox, so if that would be a woeful mistake if they have him play it and not Business Trooper.
Now they're just messing around.
Yeah, that's a interesting pick, man. Because again, they are straying from what worked for them, right? They had all the opportunity in the world to get the exact same comp that they played last game and try and just run it back down and tell Rockport that they're going to be able to beat them in those mid to late game skirmishes. But they're swapping it up, going for a drastically different style with this 1-3-1 setup.
Yeah, and again, like what I was saying before, like the last couple times that they have tried something new, while sometimes they still can net the win, they seem to pull out a lot more mistakes. At least in the early game, the last couple times that I've seen them try something new. So we'll have to see if they're able to actually still pull out a win here. So, and Rockport's comp is definitely not a comp to be not as scared of.
For sure. It's got a lot of power. The Vel'Koz is going to be able to just shred through Battlecast team in those mid to late game fights. Lucian,
Yeah.
one of Hydreon's more comfort picks when Tristana's banned, so he's still going to do pretty well. He actually had a really solid game in game one. And a big tank frontline for Rockport.
And a lot of CC. That's
Yeah.
probably the biggest thing. I mean, you got Alistair, you got Sedge, and you got Nautilus. Basically, all three of their tanks have a massive amount of CC if they're landing it. So, while most of it is skill shots, other than the Alistair combo, if they're landing the CC, anybody who's getting caught in that is not gonna have a nice day. Unless by some chance it somehow doesn't turn out to be expected.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know which team. Like, I feel like Rockport has a better team comp overall.
They do.
I just feel like that.
I would agree. I think their comp has a good amount of damage. It's going to be really hard for Battlecast to shred through them.
Yeah.
Because they're just
And
so
they
tanky.
don't really have like any tanks this time either. I mean, even if Shyvana went tank, she's losing out on a lot of the damage that she still puts out like in the early game. And while some of them do still like go like some tank, it's like off tank. They do like the same thing they do with the Zen, where like they'll might sometimes go Triforce and then into Sterix, or like they'll go like some kind of form of damage and then Sterix and then like off tank items.
It'll
So it's not.
it'll be fairly tanky. He's probably going to get a Frozen Mallet second item after his Devour, or not Devour, that's an old item.
I missed that item.
He is on his after his jungle item. He'll go Frozen. That is pretty standard for Shyvana because it does help her keep the people and she has good base damage. What do you guys think of for a bet this time?
Dragon Timer with the Shyvana.
Sure. I'd be okay with that.
I say like 10, 15 minutes, like that around the area.
It's kind of high with the Shyvana.
True.
But
Well,
Rockport
fif-
play
well,
early game
15.
vision really well.
How about
I'm
12?
I'm gonna say 12 minutes. First dragon at 12 minutes.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping that this drafting choice from Battlecast doesn't bite them in the butt because it seems a little out of left field. But Rockport definitely stepping up in their draft this time, picking just super heavy tanks. They should be able to just run down Battlecast, even if Battlecast set up a 1-3-1. There's so much engage that I just don't think with the amount of disengage from a Karma and a Cho'Gath that they're going to be able to escape from this Rockport party, and I don't think they're going to be able to win the 1-3-1 either,
Yeah,
unless
and
they
a
get
lot of
really far ahead.
and a lot of the damage too is either true damage or sustained damage. So, I mean, it's damage that's going to scale through the late game compared to most of Battlecast damage, where other than Zaya and maybe Aatrox, like most of their stuff is burst damage. I mean, Shyvana's is kind of sustained damage too, but she's going to be in their face, like trying to run at them, which isn't very optimal with the team that Rockport has. Because Alistair can just knock her away. Vel'Koz can land a full combo and destroy her if she walks in his face. And pretty much everybody on that team can get out of the Shyvana's way.
Yeah.
If not, CC her.
Yep. I have received word that there's probably about to be a pause, and it might be a long one. There is some ping issues for Faithful Fox, I hear. So we'll see when that comes through. I'm not sure when, but we should be expecting that pretty shortly here.
Damn it, Faithful. It's always Faithful's spot. Full fit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how the Aatrox does into the Vel'Koz. I think Vel'Koz should be just fine in this lane, be able to spam W and just wave clear for days.
He can, but if the Aatrox ever by chance does get onto him, Aatrox can destroy him early because he does have that damage, and Vel'Koz is very squishy. So it's going to be a matter of if he actually does ever get on to Steve or Heat Viper.
Minions have spawned.
So hopefully he plays and abuses his range, but then also at the same time, he does also still have the Aatrox ultimate. So even if he plays safe and abuses his range, Aatrox ultimate gives him the ability to dive and pretty much get away with it. So
yeah,
we'll have to see.
Little bit of a weird choice from Business Trooper going for a Corrupting Potion on that Aatrox instead of going for like a Door and Shield and refillable, because he's wasting a lot of the stats there. He doesn't need the mana and the health back from that. Just is not worth not having a Door and Shield.
You can't go Door and Shield and refillable.
Or not Dorns and refillable, sorry, first. But normally you get the first and then you back later and get refillable.
Yeah.
But yep, here's the pause. Big ping coming out from Faithful. Hopefully it doesn't last too long, but we are going to start counting down. Pause timer.
Or you can just look at that and be like, oh, he's 10 minutes. Shyvana actually not getting a leash from the bot side here, so she's actually already pretty low. I guess she decided to go Red Raptors, which is kind of interesting because if you don't get a leash, normally you go Raptors and then you're Red. Unless it is Red Raptors. I don't know how Shyvana's no leash does.
I mean, Shyvana has a really good clear, so she should be fine. She's still got 2 refillable charges left. So that's going to help her out a good amount here.
You guys are betting under 12.5 minutes? Wow, you guys must think this is going to be a really fast Dragon then.
Yeah, it could be. I never know.
It could be, but that's assuming that he gets at least one of the 2 scuttles. And then is able to back and then run down the Dragon. And from what he's taking right now, if he's doing Raptors, I doubt he'll go for the bot scuttle.
It's hard to say. What I've been seeing a lot of the junglers do at Worlds is they'll take their buff and then go straight to Krugs, because the first clear of Krugs is so important, right? It does give you diminished XP compared to when you cleared after, but it's just so important to get that first clear out. That way when you start taking it, Krugs give almost an entire level every time you take them. So you really just need to get the first one out of the way and then just go for the rest of your clear. And
oh, yeah.
Looks like the teams are saying they're ready.
Yeah, they both said they're ready.
Time for the most important part of 3-0 eSports, the pause.
The pause.
That happens every single game. At least at the first or second game. Generally, once it goes in, normally it's not too bad.
Yeah. So the nice thing about the Karma pick for Faithful is that they will have a decent advantage in this 2v2 because of that ranged poke advantage. It's very strong into these tanks. So the Lucian Alistar, not actually as potent as you would normally expect it to be.
But it is still Alistair, and having the insane amount of sustain that he has built into his kit, and then along with the Targus item, it'll be interesting to see like how much damage they can actually do to really be meaningful. So
Yeah, Shamber is in a little bit of trouble as Business Trooper coming down level 2. They're just trying to force him off. Make sure he doesn't do too much here to the Shyvana jungle.
yeah, which I mean, I don't even really think he was gonna attempt to do anything there. I think he was just planning to get Scuttle and then go to his jungle, which I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't really try to invade after they all reset, because I mean, I guess they could have, and then knowing that he didn't have his red buff, so I
Yeah.
guess they're just gonna let him take it and then continue to farm.
A pretty good early game plan, though, from Battlecast, because they did make sure that they got all of their lanes shoving. Oh, God. And they're pausing again.
Ping hitting 4K. Oh, my goodness. How does your ping get that high? Like, I've never had... Like, the only time I've ever had that high of a ping is, like, back when, like, Riot didn't have their own servers yet, and people were, like, especially during the holidays, were trying to DDoS the living crap out of the Riot servers. So, like, the ping spikes, like, you would randomly just get random ping spikes of 2,000 ping.
I mean, I sometimes have bad ping, and that's just because sometimes my company is just completely awful.
Yeah, mine's actually been pretty solid, and I will say that they've been pretty good. I think I have Spectrum, I want to say, is what I have, and while it is bad in some areas, for me it's been pretty good. Like, the only time I ever have issues is, like, during storms or anything. Obviously, that makes sense to have issues for.
Every weekend mine goes out. I have Spectrum as well. Every weekend it goes out.
That's weird. It could also just be your area, too. Who knows? Because like I said, like, by me, I've never had issues unless there's, like, a storm. Like, occasionally I'll have some issues, but even if I have, like, issues, like, the highest my ping ever gets is, like, 30, maybe 40.
Yeah, by the way, Hamcam, you have that elevator music playing?
Nope.
Oh,
Because we are not in an intermission.
but it's a pause.
It's not an intermission.
Still technically.
We're still talking about the game and life and stuff.
Mhm.
I play the elevator music when we stop talking.
Oh, okay. I'll play while we're talking to give, the audience something else to listen to, or
Nope.
maybe make the talking more fun.
Nope.
What's going on here? Your team likes to cause pauses. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, Fox not having good connection issues. Hopefully it gets resolved, and if not, we might have to see them play it out 4v5. Bring in Andy in the next game, maybe.
Possibly. Meh. What's up, Kira? So you're decided to join us? Unless you've been here the whole time. The man with the brain, as I like to call you. Or the crazy stats person. Andy is coming in hot. Andy, it might be your time to shine.
Yeah, bring out that bard.
Oh, maybe a bard, since everybody bans it all the time. But it'll more than likely be Thresh, since everybody that plays against Andy always bans Bard and never the Thresh, and then he still gets Thresh and still does just as good. Nah, you only shine when you're Bard, because Bard's the only champion that shines.
Tark shines. What do you mean?
Who?
Tark.
Yeah, kinda. Stars.
Shine bright like a diamond.
I missed old Tarek. I missed the point and click stun you couldn't run from. The AoE ultimate that just gave bonus damage to your team in the circle. That nobody ever knew what the range was because nobody knew how to play the champion. Assuming Ham's over here trying to find the situation. being as quiet as he is.
I'm just making sure everybody is in a good spot.
Normally, every time I hear like Ham just disappear, I'm like, oh, I must be talking to somebody.
I'm just sending out messages saying don't forget there's only 15 minutes of pause time.
Ah. Oh. No, this actually just came to mind. I don't know why, but for some reason I kind of want to watch. What is that? The Halo 4 short TV series again? I forget what it was.
I don't know.
It was like the name of the game, but I don't know if you ever saw the TV series short. It's very, very good. I really wish that they would make more. I always like wanted Halo to actually be like a really good movie because I feel like Halo would be an amazing movie series, but like for whatever reason, everybody that always tried to do one, other than like if it wasn't a TV series, it was like complete garbage. All the TV series were really good.
So, I mean, my favorite movie of all time is an older movie that I had on VHS. I used to watch all the time that I wasn't supposed to, which is called The Mask. Jim Carrey.
Mm, it's all right. I wouldn't really say it was my favorite.
I just liked it a lot because there was just the one scene Cuban Pete song. It was just amazing.
Honestly, it sounds stupid, and it's probably everybody else's most favorite movie too. But if I had to pick one, it'd either be Toy Story or Finding Nemo, like one of those two. Just because those are like the only two movies I think I've seen like enough of to like know everything that happens and like what's gonna come next. They're like shark bake, hoo ha ha.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, if it wasn't the stream wasn't on, I would be making some really bad jokes. I don't want Ham to get banned here, so I'm gonna refrain from those kind of jokes.
I do know jokes, but I have all my jokes listed, and I can't ever remember like all of them without actually just looking at the list. There's quite a few pun pages I'm a part of on Facebook because I'm a very bored person and I like to see random things. Let's see if there has been any. Oh, there it is. Father, Pun, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah, I guess there hasn't been anything new. Feels bad.
Yep, there's about like 4 or so minutes left of pause time.
Yeah.
Is it for the entire set or is it just this game?
It's 15 for the entire set. On game 3, if they have less than 5 minutes, we do refresh it up to a 5 minute of pause time left for them on game 3. And there was a little bit of an oversight. I forgot to include rules for best of 5s, but I believe last season we made it so that you get another refresh at game 5 for 5 minutes.
All right.
Otherwise, they have to play a 4v5.
Or forfeit.
Well, it's not really a joke. I guess it kind of is a joke. I'm posting a picture in memes. Should anybody want to go see what it is? It's an ice cream cone. Don't worry. There's nothing bad about it.
Totally. I love me some purple ice cream.
This guy's going straight to hell.
I don't even see the meme chat.
It's because you need to give yourself a role for it.
Reported. God damn it. Ew. I guess I'm getting reported. Whoever everyone's favorite but yeah, that's okay, never mind.
A summoner has
I read the name and was like everyone's favorite bird. Oh, that must be Andy.
All right. Well, Faithful has reconnected. We'll see if we get back into game. Hopefully, we do.
Wanna hear the joke everybody hears all the time?
Not particularly.
What do you call a fake noodle?
You.
An impasta.
Uh-huh.
Oops.
All right. We're getting back into it. Hopefully, Faithful doesn't have any more internet issues. So we do find ourselves looking back at these lanes now.
Wait, what do you mean, Neon? I always talk about the game.
Sometimes. we do.
Maniacs, though.
You guys
Well,
both go off topic quite a bit.
I mean, like, what is there to talk about when it's just farming? Oh, they killed another minion. Oh, he auto-attacked the Lucian. He got some damage on.
There are legitimate times where there's nothing to talk about, but usually at the beginning of
Yeah.
the game, you can talk about pathing plans, build opportunities, stuff like that.
I mean, normally you would, but I mean, in this elo, do they ever follow those? No.
No, but it's good to talk
Not-
about what
not
they
really.
should do. That way, when they watch it later, they go, "Wow, I'm boosted."
Or they just be like, yeah, whatever.
And I mean, who
Yeah.
says they watch this over the VODs?
There actually is a lot of people that do come back and watch this, and I only know that because, like, every time I have to
Oh.
go.
Candy taking a lot of damage. The Ignite and the Flash should be enough to save him as Hydra is trying to run forward. The
no!
heal to get the movement speed in the first blood for the Rockport bottom lane. As now,
Really nice.
Business Trooper trying to get a good chunk of damage off on a Heat Viper.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before. And when Aatrox gets on Vel'Koz, he's a very, very squishy champion. So if he gets on him, he's going to take a lot of damage.
Yep, Adrenaline is taking the Dragon right now. Getting pretty low, but I think he might have enough to take this. Looks like we're going to see that 5-minute Dragon. Everyone that bet under going to be getting their money back since nobody bet over. And yep, Adrenaline gets himself a 5-minute Dragon.
Good job, guys. Y'all got your money back.
Hey, come on, you could have put someone could have put 1 point into over.
Got an 8
And
grand. Yeah, they could have. They didn't, but they could have.
You
And
put 1 point.
Shyvana, like Warwick, when doesn't she not go for a dragon?
I haven't seen Prism do it ever, so. And he plays a good
Yeah.
amount of Shiv, but.
But that's also Prism.
Right.
So that's
But
expecting him to do things like that.
Right, but you also said Shyvana. When does she not? Well, when Prism plays her.
Hmm.
Yeah, but this is definitely really good for the Rockport crew getting that advantage in the bottom side, something they struggled to do last time. And Hydreion as well, not going for the BF sword that he's going to sell later. Going to help him keep this advantage too, so it's looking pretty good for them. He is down in CS, unfortunately, but so the first blood going to be pretty big for him.
Am, stop being toxic. And I forgot what I was talking about.
Probably
What's
wasn't
that?
important then.
What do you mean? It's always important.
If you want to know what's important is that
Anime?
no,
Yes, always
that
anime.
Aatrox has got a Caulfield it's working towards, I believe, a Black Cleaver first item.
Yeah, normally you
Or
see
Yellow.
Aatroxes go for Coalfields and then a Kindle Gem. That's because that's a very quick way to get 20 CER. And then you also typically take Transcendence on Aatrox, which will help you get 30 CDR very, very quickly. And then you finish off that that Black Cleaver for the 40.
Yeah, I think the best way that Battlecast's bot lane is really gonna maybe try to get an advantage down here is if they're able to take the small pokes towards Alistair and then like disengage before he gets anything off, and then just try to whittle him down to a point where they can engage. Because otherwise, I think they just always straight up lose the 2v2.
Especially if Lucian has the lead.
Yeah, because every time Alistair has ignite, I mean, he just gets one full combo off. If he procs the stun, they're just gonna die with the Lucian combo and the amount of damage that ridiculously comes out of Alistair.
Yeah. And the hard part is, like, Faithful needs to start finding some
Ooh.
meaningful... Oh, that was a pretty good force of the flash. Yeah, Faithful needs to start finding some meaningful poke. But it's going to be hard to get on Juice because he is an Alistar, he's tanky. And also on Hydro, he has to be consistent enough to get through that lifesteal that he's got. So Adrenaline in a little bit of trouble. T-Piper is going to start using that disintegration. Ray does get the Permafrost off, but here comes Business Trooper as well. Gonna flash over,
nice
doesn't
flash.
land the change though. Is he able to get forward with his ult, doing a lot of damage, forcing the flash from Shambear. But not gonna be able to find any kill for himself quite yet.
Yeah, really nice play by trying to go aggressive after dodging the knockup by Heat Viper to try to stop him from going on him, but them still both having their flashes, at least not, well, Sean still having his flash. He will
Right.
flash over the wall and get out, and then Heat Viper in a safe enough area where he was not able to overchase.
Yeah, and if the
That's right.
chains from Aatrox had landed, it would have been good. Go ahead, Maniac.
I was about to say, I thought if I didn't think he was aiming for Sejuani with the chain, which I thought he should have done. I feel like it would have been easier to kill the Sejuani at that moment in time over the Vel'Koz.
I think the Vel'Koz was the right choice because Sejuani had flash still and Vel'Koz didn't. It meant that if the chains had landed on the Vel'Koz, it would have pretty much been a guaranteed kill. But you need to land those skill shots, and Aatrox is a very skill shot heavy champion, so
At least now he is.
Yeah.
He's kind of a skill shot champion.
he's got 2 skill shots. Well,
He's
4 if you
two?
count all hits of his Q. His W and his Q, both skill shots. Nanyung, though, in a lot of trouble as the Permafrost is stacking up. He does have flash if he needs it, but he's going to get pulled in. The stun as well. Shamber now chasing forward. The ults are being used. I don't think that Feral Scream is going to help him out at all, but the knockup might be enough as here comes Adrenaline to jump in, but the Permafrost lands, and now he's got to start turning around, trying to get 100T new, but a lot of damage coming out from the Nautilus as well as another hook lands. 100T gets the double kill outplay.
Yeah, unfortunate for him to not be able to get out after landing that rupture. The amount of CC, like we were talking about, from Sejuani and Nautilus is just insane. Trying to get out of that, you would have basically have had to flash the minute you saw that Sejuani come through. But they are able to pick up the kill, and then also on top of that, go for Adrenaline later after not really counter ganking, but trying to counter gank, and unfortunately getting himself killed.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, Rockport made no changes in their ban phase, right? Battlecast had every opportunity to play the same game that they just won on fairly convincingly in game 1, and they're going for these, flashier picks, and it's just not working. They aren't playing it properly. They are just getting ran down by Rockport with the better comp that they've got.
Yeah, and like I was saying before, it is cool to see them try these things, but every time they do try these things, they try it and lose heavily in the early game.
Right.
They can sometimes still pull out the win, but against a team like Rockport is really good at getting the leads and kind of steamrolling with them when they do get them.
Yeah, it's one thing to want to play these fun, unique picks, but it's another thing to try and win the freaking semifinals. And right now, it's one or the other, I think, and it's looking like Rockport, with a pretty strong grasp on game 2, gonna force Battlecast to change up their game plan as King D's in a little bit of trouble. He's not gonna get hit by the head, but Pulverize is now Adrenaline starting to run and juice down the trample. Not gonna be enough as King D finds a kill there.
Yeah, that was really sad to watch. Unfortunately, Alistair, being the slow auto attacker he is, he tried to get the stun off and then flash, but unfortunately did not get the stun off, and then still ended up dying as he was not able to lock anybody up and then get out.
Yeah, and that gives Battlecast full control of this Dragon Pit, knowing that there's no tank besides the Sejuani that can really be there. Or roam down from Business Trooper as well means that Heat Viper not going to be able to get in and do anything. So Still 1,000 gold down, but definitely find themselves advantages with both of the first Drakes and Infernal as well to boot. Going to be pretty big.
Mm-hmm. When does Elder Drake spawn? 35?
35 minutes at the earliest.
Okay. I was trying to think. I was wondering if it actually is possible to have 6 dragons, but
No, I think the max you can have is 5.
yeah. Unless you like started dragon for your jungle, which would be very bad. But I guess it could be possible.
I mean, the first dragon doesn't spawn until like 2 minutes. Now Yunjindo out of mana, no flash, gonna get engaged on and ran down. He has no way out here. Might as well just accept his fate. Another kill should be going over to 100T. It's not really the ideal person to be picking up 3 kills for your team, but still having a super tanky Nautilus pretty early will be nice.
Yeah, and since he is going, hopefully, for Righteous after getting the Cinder, hopefully getting the Cinder or just going straight Sunfire, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Sunfire is really good for Nautilus. He doesn't really need a Righteous Glory too early. And the extra wave clear, it helps him save mana as well, which is a really big thing for Nautilus because he is very mana hungry.
Yeah, I guess I just feel because, like, while there is 4 AD, well, 3 AD at the side of Battlecast, since you're not really engaging in any of them right now, the only 2 people you're really against deal heavy magic damage, so I just maybe thought getting even, like, magic damage, like, magic, I don't know, a defense item, there you go, that thing.
I think it's
Or
just,
even, like, a Righteous Glory.
there's just not enough, right? Even with full damage or full armor from him, right? Cho'Gath not winning that 1v1 at all. And Shiv is still pretty heavy on the physical, even with doing a good chunk of magic. So I think it's definitely fine. And the Righteous Glory, again, they've got so much engaged, they don't really need it. Bot lane, though, for Battlecast does need to be careful. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Alistar start charging this Hex Flash as Schomburg trying to find a unique way into this, but he is going to get spotted on that try.
However, if there is an item I would like to see him get, I hope he gets Abyssal Mask, because Abyssal Mask, for even though there is not that much magic damage, it is still a Vel'Koz. So at least for the Vel'Koz, him and Nautilus are going to be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, I would.
Should he decide to get that?
I would prefer to see an adaptive because it will block even more damage than an Abyssal will, and because it's a lot of repeat damage from the Nautilus and the Vel'Koz, both of them hitting you with the same spells over and over, it's going to be blocking a lot more, so I think it'll be a much more valuable buy.
Yeah, but you could also still go both. I mean, if he's not going to go Righteous, you could still get Abyssal and Adaptive this game.
Yes, Faithful's in a lot of trouble. Nice flash over the wall, going to be dodging away from that Glacial Prison.
Yeah, and getting the Lucian out too. So that's a lot of ults burned for one flash.
Go ahead, Maniac. What are you going to say?
Oh, I was just saying the calling too.
Yes. Lots of ults. The only thing they didn't get was the Alistar ult. So it's very good for him. Sucks to be out of a flash, but...
What's Alistair going to use ult on, though?
Well...
Other than when he's locked up.
Right, I'm saying it's like, yeah, of the 3 people out there, you got 2 of 3 ults, right? He had no reason to use the ult.
Yeah.
But, that's, yeah. It's good damage reduction, so it is a good spell. Would be good to have that off in case they wanted to go for a play, but no reason quite to go for that as Visit Trooper. Try to get some damage off.
You know what would be really fun to see? A buff on the Alistair ult. Like, just to see, like, how even more tanky you can make him.
I mean, they nerfed it pretty recently.
He's been nerfed, like, so hard since, like, pretty much, like, the beginning of that I started playing.
Yeah, well, I mean, a while ago they gave his ult used to scale a stand rejection based on the ult level, and he was not using probably going to be dying again using his Righteous Glory. Is Shamber not actually going to fully commit to this no ult? Means it's going to be hard for him to catch up.
Yeah, he was already in a pretty good spot, so he could have just walked out should he so chose to. But yeah, no, from when I started playing, like, Alistair was at one point pretty busted, and yeah, they nerfed. I know when they first started nerfing him, they nerfed the cooldown on his combo. Oh, they actually are going to use the Rift Arrow.
Yeah, but Juice with the
combo,
flash
stop!
engage in to stop it. He's going to probably trade his life for it, though. And now Aatrox having roamed down
Another
as well.
diving
He's going to
anyway.
use his ult. Already going into that passive as teleports are coming through, but there's a double kill for Adrenaline. 100 to noob trying to find his way in. Might get the kill. He does get
still
it.
trade.
Now he's going for it as he's trying to stall enough time for the rest of Rockport to make it.
Schultz
Taking
here.
a lot of damage, but now Jin taking up the tower. No mana for him means there's no feast on deck. 100 to noob running away. Is he able to stall it out long enough? This freaking Shogath is
Oh my
so tanky,
gosh!
but a Glacial Prison lands onto King D. He's under the tower. He's tanking, gets the shutdown gold, but he's going to get shut down in return. Now Faithful Fox trying to run away, but the slow from Sean Bear with the red buff, with the permafrost. He's going to get a kill as well. And that is a lot of things being traded over for both teams, but I think Rockport in the end should feel pretty happy about how that turned out.
Yeah, 3 for 2, even though it was like the AD carry of Hydreion and the top lane of Hunter T Noob, it's still like Hunter T stalled that for so long and somehow is being able to survive that entire time when all 4 of them dove, being able to flash at a really good spot, and they basically had to run him down because they had just used everything to try to catch the Lucian. So they had nothing to catch him, and now they're able to finally get a Dragon too on top of that. So it's unfortunate they didn't get the tower, but really nice stop on the Rift Herald on Alistair. So now they basically don't have anything to get any other objectives unless they steal this Dragon.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to secure it. I think they should be able to. Adrenaline has no way in, so they get that. And it's definitely a bit of a mistake from Adrenaline, just channeling the Rift Herald in open sight next to an Alistar. They traded 2 kills over for it, but then they overcommitted for the dive. They got killed, and now they're sitting down some gold still, and they didn't get the tower.
It definitely, I feel, in my opinion, was probably almost more of an overconfidence, like just thinking that they could just smash Rockport, but then not realizing that the one person that probably has the majority of their CC is in front of their face. So, I mean, he could just stun you up if you're not too far away, so...
Yeah, they're trying to make a play down here. Juice running forward with those Moby boots. Yeah, and a big thing right now is that Xayah is already at 2 items. She's got her Rapid Fire and that Stormrazor. So in a pretty good spot compared to Hydreion. And I think this is... They should just keep heading back to the spot lane despite the misplay earlier. I think it's still probably their best bet at the moment.
Yeah. But we'll have to see what they do to decide to, go for.
Yeah, but
I know Nautilus' hook is like that, but like sometimes like seeing like the max range hooks that he gets, it's like
they
it's
feel
like
longer
come
than
on.
they should be. But what I was about to say is that Sean Bear's missing a lot of these glacial prisms.
Yeah, he is missing them, but he is still getting the slow and most of the other CC off. So majority of the time so far, even though he's missed his ultis, he's still getting the CC that matters off, and they're still able to pick up the kill afterwards. So because they do still have the Alistair, and then before with Heath Viper coming down to assist too, he landed a few of his slows. Well, none of it's like really hard CC. A lot of it on their team is pretty much just all slows, with the only hard CC really coming from Alistair and Nautilus and Sean if he does land it, but
Yep.
I'd say a majority of their CC is an annoying of slows.
Yeah, we're finally starting to see the spot lane for Battlecast start taking control of this lane as well. Kind of expect them to have it a little bit earlier with the Karma pick, but the first blood going over to Hydreion started that out, but having all this advantage now gives them a pretty good job up here. 100 Noob going to be in a little bit of trouble as he does use his ult to try and knock up the Shyvana, and a nice rupture, but the hook comes out anyways, and he still gets pulled to the wall. And, you know, big committal up top. They're not able to get anything off of it. Now bot lane needs to be playing a little bit carefully.
Yeah. It was a nice attempt by Jin. At least he was able to land a few ruptures that he did, but still not being able to block him from using Huck. And oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of damage on to Faithful, but Juice also taking some in return. Roper looked like they wanted to set up a dive, but didn't end up roaming over.
Yeah, but I think Juice will be more than happy to take that trade over the Faithful, just because the champion that Alistair is. Having that Targus to really get the sustain from lasting minions, and then on top of that is passive. Like, he's going to be able to sustain much faster than Faithful is. whereas Faithful's pretty much going to be forced back if he wants to regain his HP.
Yeah, overall, it's a pretty good advantage for Rockport and Tower Health, especially looking at all their archers and looking at all their like tier ones all around.
Yeah.
That's so annoying. I hate that about Vilcaz, especially when you're a champion that has to run in like that, because that's like what we were talking about before. Like the fact that like the amount of CC that Rockford has, and the fact that Shyvana just has to run at you, like they pretty much just throw an ability in your face and it negates everything that you were trying to do.
Yeah. It's a little rough. Makes life a little bit more complicated, but first tower does go over to Battlecast. It's going to give them about 1,000 gold lead right now. They just need to keep saving these towers. As now Yunjin in a little bit of trouble, and Ice Rupture is going to be knocking up the Alistar, and he dodges away from the Arctic Assault, and now he's underneath tower. I don't think Rockport can continue this dive.
Yeah, being 2 tanks, well, it is a nice gank. Don't really put out too much damage, at least enough to kill the Cho'Gath, so
Right.
he is okay. Being able to just walk away after landing the 1 Rupture. Hey Ham, you ready to see a very annoying champion? You should watch Vilcaz when he uses Twin Shadows.
I've seen it.
And then watch it just proc the wonderful glacial
Yeah,
thingy.
here comes a pretty big fight. Bottom lane, though. Hydron doing a lot of damage to Adrenaline, but taking a lot back.
Oh,
He's going to
no,
be able to
but
dodge
he
away
was
from the
Rupture
Rupture, but now
Society!
Yunjin with the flash in. The
Oh,
Feast
he
doesn't
lived!
find the kill! Now they're running for their
Flash
lives. The Sea
nailed
Piper
the
now trying to
man
get away from
feasted.
Business Trooper. The knockup not going to land. I think he should be able to get out of here. He is using his movement speed buff from that Yumu's. But again, no kills going over quite yet. As Battlecast now just trying to force down this top lane tower, doing a lot of damage to it. They need to be careful, though, because there is a roam coming over. King D taking a lot of damage. The ult as well into the tower shot.
This is really putting out a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's
Nice,
definitely
got him
trying here.
stunned.
Shambo's found his way in. The Featherstorm going to be doing a lot of work. Is he able to get the Blade Caller off for the stun? He does, but he still gets hit by the pole. He's going to be going down. Rockport fight 2.
And lose nothing.
Yeah,
They're
not
losing a
one.
little bit of lane pressure bot and mid, but I'd say that is still pretty worth it for them. Now Yunjin going to be forced to try and run away here, but that's a lot of lockdown coming out of the Rockport side. This should be a dead Cho'Gath. Kill going over to Hydron. Actually, maybe not. Now Yunjin's still running away unless there's another Relentless Pursuit coming out from Hydron. I think he might actually just get out of here. Yep, he does find it.
Just had to wait for the dash to come up off cooldown.
Yeah, but Rockport also decided to prioritize going to this dragon side rather than getting this top lane tower. They want to make sure they don't give her too many of this to this Shyvana. They don't want the Elder Dragon to become too good of an option, so they didn't end up pushing top down.
Yeah, unfortunately, with all the chaos going in pretty much all the other lanes, they weren't really able to take the advantage of getting that top tower after killing the bot lane. So they're still going to get bot tower, as they were able to at least still push that in.
Yeah.
So Lucian and Alistair being able to pick that up. Now they can hopefully finally rotate. Hadrian, I guess, just saying hi to Shyvana as he sees him starting this dragon.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like
Teleport
Battlecast
coming
want to try
out.
and just force out a fight. They do have a pretty decent item spike. Shyvana, though, out of the pit. This might just be a dragon going over to Rockport. They don't have a way to get in, so it is secured by them, and they're just going to be able to waltz on out of here. Now, Sean Bear actually looking for an engage, find his way onto Business Trooper, but he's already able to use his ult. He's starting to revive up, trying to walk out of here. Lots of damage coming through from King D, but the Disintegration Ray is destroying Battlecast, as now Rockport trying to run away, but the Rupture lands onto Hydron. Are they able to get forward onto him? They can't seem to decide who they want to chase forward onto. Faithful Fox does find the root, though, so they get the kill, and that's going to be a 3-for-1 minus a dragon for Battlecast. Looking like they want to go for mid, but still Heat Viper on full health should be able to defend it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, 3 for 3.
3 for 2.
Or 3 for 2.
Yep. Yeah.
Would have been a 3 for 1. Dude, these knockups on the side of Rockport are actually silly.
They've got a lot of CC.
I saw at least, I want to say at least once of every knockup hit Adrenaline as he was like trying to like get into Sean Bear's face. Like he got knocked up by Alistair, then he got ulted by RPT, and then I think Sean cute in his face too.
That's a lot of CC. I thought if you want to play League of Legends, no, you're not allowed to move.
Yeah, not when you're a champion that runs at a bunch of people that have CC.
Yeah,
Which is
Shyvana.
the only downfall of Shyvana. Well, she does put out a lot of damage. Like, if you're going to use her, she's pretty much probably going to end up being put on split push duty if they want to use her properly.
Split push or flank duty. He can't just run in with his team straight on top of like a Nautilus ult because he is going to just get frozen up and CC'd to death. So he just needs to find himself some better flanks. And that's kind of the story as a whole right now for Battlecast is they need to get good flanks from Shyvana and Aatrox. And that's going to start with maybe trying to get some good vision down, get some side lane control. But they're actually just going for an early Baron here. Rockport don't have vision on it, so they're going to try and get in.
Yeah, but I do know they are over there now. So with the spooky ghost seeing Zaya and the Karma, they kind of figured that the rest of them were there, and then they saw Cho'Gath walking out, so they are just going to back out.
Yep.
Unfortunately, not able to solidify the vision that they wanted to get, so hopefully they do come back, but because they were only able to get the one ward down, which Karma did kill.
Yeah, and it was definitely an interesting idea and a good play, I think, from Battlecast. So just trying to say, like, look, we can force this Baron down if you leave your vision blank, which is going to put a lot of pressure on Rockport to actually try and keep vision in this area.
I hate it when people do that. It triggers me so much.
Put their control ward next to the enemy wall.
No, like when they put the ward down and as it's about to die, they put another ward down because that was Faithful's word that he put next to the wall.
Yeah. Hey, dude,
Like,
denies 30 gold. You need to move the ward anyways.
Yeah.
Rockport though.
It is an interesting ward. Like I don't understand like why so many people try to put it like right on top of the wall.
Oh, King D's in a lot of trouble using the Feather Storm to try and get out, but I think the Disintegration Ray is gonna be enough. And he just cannot be stepped forward like that without his team. That's gonna signal Rockport to move towards this Baron as they're all still full health.
Yeah, and honestly, like despite like their jungler still being up, like with King D being down, I feel like that's enough to do the Baron. King D is a majority of their damage.
But they're just
they
actually
really
trying to
can't fight
bait
this.
out a fight. Nanyun Jin going to use the Stone Plate, but a big engage from the Shyvana. Trying to get on the backside, but no CC means he's just going to fall down. Now Business Trooper as well in the middle with his ult. It's not going to matter as he's trying to revive. He's just going to get killed as soon as he's back up. And a Karma and a Cho'Gath not meant for this situation. Going to be forced to back up and give a free Baron over to Rockport.
Yeah, and this is like just what I was talking about. Like the amount of CC that Rockport have. Like you can't just force a fight, even though you're strong. And you probably can one-shot Hydreion. He's still got enough sustain, especially with that Blade of the Ruin King and Black Cleaver. You can just E out of the way and flash if he has to, and the rest of his team is just going to CC you in place. Like, he maybe got one Q off, and Hydreion barely lost any HP before the rest of their team just died from overstepping.
Yeah, and I don't know why they even took the fight, right? There was a lot used to try and engage on a Nanyun Jin, but he got a really early Stone Plate off, meaning there's no way he's going to die anytime soon. And for some reason, even though they had actually successfully kind of cut it out of the choke point to the point where Rockport would have had a hard time chasing forward, just another engage from Adrenaline and Business Trooper just kind of throwing the game away right now. Like, they haven't had a lead, but right now the aggressive plays that they're making, coupled with those just honestly atrocious pick ban, is really not giving them any chance to win this.
Yeah. Like, it's gonna, like, if their best chance there would have been to either know that Rockport was there after seeing them walk in there. They did still have vision, so, I mean, they could have literally just sat there and made Rockport waste their time or even forced them to do a push. Or if they wanted to try to stop the Baron, send Shyvana off to the side, because none of them were at the top side of blue, so I mean, he could have easily just ran the long way around and just sat on the other side of Baron Wall should they have decided to go for that. But instead they decided to take the fight, and instead of trying to go for a Baron steal if they were still thinking about it regardless, they just kind of gave it away for free.
Yep. They're setting up around this dragon area, trying to get vision and control over it to take it. Gonna be forfeiting a lot of tower pressure though. This mid lane is getting attacked quite heavily.
Yeah, with the wave that it has, there really is nothing they can do to stop it. And there is a
Yeah, but
pretty
Adrenaline
decent.
going super aggressive again. There's no vision onto the Rockport side, so he's going to be forced to ult over the wall, trying to run away, stall out time for the rest of his team to come in. He's on the backside. The Dragon is being started. This is going to be a pretty big one, and Infernal would be huge for both teams. Goes over to Rockport.
And there goes the 5th dragon. So there is 5 dragons in this game now, though, but Rockport having 3 of them.
Yep, Adrenaline,
So
though,
it
does get caught, but the Blast Cone might be enough to get out. He's getting hit by the slows, but they're not going to finish landing, but the ult does come out from Schomberg. Now they keep chasing for the Disintegration Ray. Almost able to find 2. As now another hook lands on a Nagyujin. He's trying to run away, but the slow fields are just a little bit too strong. Hydroon's doing a lot of damage with the Culling, and the Stone Plate helps him stay alive for a while, but that is the big front line for Battlecast falling down.
Yeah, I'm not quite too sure what Adrenaline was doing there. I mean, I understand, like, he kind of got pushed out. But at that point, like, when you see the Rockport have that big of an advantage in that area, you might as well either just recall or, again, even try for the steal. Like, why waste that much time sitting on a camp that you're not going to get anything for and then get collapsed on after the Dragon take?
Yeah,
So,
and I feel like it could be a confidence factor. Like he got MVP last game. He was doing pretty really well last game. So it feels like he can do really well this game, and he's just overconfident.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, right? It feels like they won last game through really good team play, outplaying a Rockport. They might actually be able to save the game here. Hydro didn't get the last hit off onto the Nexus. Now Schomberg is trying to find his way in. Only needs another auto attack or 2, but the flash from Heat Viper going to be enough to secure it.
yeah, almost a turnaround, but it was low enough to where they could have just autoed it a couple times. So I think it was more of if RPT decided to stop going for kills and just go for the next because it looked like they did kind of want to just kill the rest of Battlecast until they realized that they should probably end. But they do come away with the win. It is nice too. Surprisingly, Heat Viper coming away with no deaths.
Yeah, 7-0-4. Did really good. Just shreds through all the tanks. Held his own versus Business Trooper as well. Actually put in a lot of pressure in the mid lane.
Yeah, which is surprising, especially with the amount of ganks that came through mid lane. I mean, Adrenaline was there at least 3 times in the lane phase. And then on top of that, like, still getting jumped on by Business Trooper when he did land his combo, but he still was just never able to kill him. So at least each time that he was near death, his flash was back up or had Sean Bear hiding in the distance to try to save him.
Yeah, and he had the highest CS in the game. So, MVP though is the question.
Despite how well Heat Viper did, I do think Schomberg really set the team up for success. He actually ganked this game where he really did on the Zac, and he got a lot done top. He got a lot done mid and bot. So I would probably throw my vote over to Schomberg.
I was gonna say Schomberg is my vote just because, like you were saying, he did put a lot of pressure top lane, really kind of solidified 100T's success in that lane, and then on top of that, afterwards, going bot and getting the gank off that they did, and then also when they tried to do the 4-man, still coming down for the rotation and still being able to turn it around after only losing 2 and then getting 3 in return. So I honestly would go Sean Bear for this game.
Yeah. All right, cool. Schomberg, game 2 MVP.
Good job, Sean.
And we'll start trying to get ready for game 3 here.
Sean is no longer garbage.
I mean, just like C9's no longer garbage. I mean, they're the only NA team left, and they may actually make it far.
Oh, why did I invite Prism? I did not mean to invite Prism.
What, you want a quadcast now?
No, we're not quadcasting.
I think that'd be too many.
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, maybe not. It'd probably be fun.
Nah.
They do it in the LCS.
They only tricast, they don't quadcast.
And then only tricast in finals.
Yeah, worlds and playoffs.
The things that matter, and then it's never the good casters unless it's finally Captain Flowers coming through. I was talking to King D about him before. He was like, Captain Flowers is such a good play-by-play. I was like, yeah, he's always been a good play-by-play. It's just that for whatever reason, like Riot only ever used them, especially during the NA regular season. They only ever used them for like the games that didn't matter or like the bad games. And never there was like maybe only a few good games that he actually casted.
I mean, they've got 3 play-by-plays. They probably just have a set schedule, and if it works out that it's an unimportant game, then that's a shame. It's not like they just don't want him.
Nah, they don't want him. I have nothing against Remington, but
Oh yeah, they have 4. Yeah, they have 4. They have Freak, Riv, Pastry Time, and Flowers.
yeah, who?
Freak, Riv, Pastry Time, and Flowers.
It's pastry time.
He's the Australian dude that has no skill.
Oh, the guy that always talks trash about you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I never liked him all that much.
Oh yeah, DHG. Who do you hope wins Worlds now?
Now, well, my gut feeling is saying IG is gonna win it, but honestly, I hope that either Fnatic or C9 win. One of those two.
Yeah, I just hope G2 doesn't win. I had this talk with Ham before the stream. I don't want to see a G2 Heimerdinger skin.
Honestly, I want to see G2 like like not go all the way through, but at least win this next game. Because like they need to win. It can't be an all China. Like last time it was all Korea and it was just boring. Because either way, Korea won. Now it has a chance to be all China. It'll just be the same thing again, except a different region.
I think Fnatic will beat Edward, and I believe Cloud9 will beat Afrika, so I don't think it has a chance of being all China. For since Fnatic was dominant during group stages.
Yeah, but that's all Fnatic's always been. They've been one of the few teams that actually show up when it comes to groups whenever they do make it. So, with Reckless being the guy that he is, he's just a monster at whatever he does. Express reordering me some food. Sorry for the random noise.
It's as long. I mean, hey Ham, are you proud of having used the soundboard once this set?
I don't know about proud.
Soundboard? What?
Oh, you want to hear it?
He likes playing special effects out of nowhere. All right, so Battlecast doing a little bit of a shakeup here. It looks like Nayu Jin is going to be out. Faithful Fox in the top lane. / Andy in for support.
Has Faithful played top before? I want to say he has.
No, I don't think he has an alternate. He might have last season, not this split, but he does actually play quite a bit of top lane in his solo queue.
Okay, so he's just probably like me.
Right. He's got 256 games played on Urgot this season alone. So.
Oh my goodness. It is a lot of Urgot.
It's a lot of Urgot.
I wish I could play Urgot. Like my thing with playing champions is like I always like I'm one of like those meta slaves that like likes to follow the meta because like there's a reason to follow the meta, but then like at the same time it's like there's always like small times when people just stop playing those champions. And then I'm like, well, should I still play these champions? Like, I don't know if I should still play these champions. And I just like stop playing them because nobody plays them. And then it's like, of course, like once I finally think they're out of the season, then they just become like the biggest thing ever. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, if I got a question for you, Ham, since you're diamond, should I just solo queue one trick Heimerdinger ADC to climb out of silver?
No. You should solo queue Wondrick, a normal character, and learn the game fundamentals.
But that'll take too long.
Bronze is, yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, if I was being honest, being a noob player myself, not new, noob, NLEE or NOOB. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Finish your sentence.
Yeah. Anyway, for me personally, it took me at least 2.5 seasons to finally get the gold, because it took me like one season to learn the game, and then another season to start learning like simple trades and stuff like that. And then being more familiar with my champions, and then I think probably my third season was probably the best peak that I had, and I've never been able to reach that. Just because at the time, like, that was when I actually played a lot of the game. I think I was gold 3 at that point, which isn't very high, but for me, that's high. And then ever since then, I've just never gotten that high because I like either stopped carrying or stopped playing.
Yeah, it's just like champions I enjoy playing because I don't like being a meta slave. I don't find those champions really fun. We already established which champion I find fun, and he's not really that. He's good, but it kind of is really easy to play against him because he just tells you where to focus and get that person behind. And it's just a lot of people don't know how to play with them on your team.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. Is like it is still okay to play stuff that's not meta. But like normally if you're gonna play something that's like not meta, it would still be something that at least has been meta in the past. So like something that's like not really meta but has been meta, you could probably play like Sivir or like even Varus, like if you're an AD carry. Just because people still do occasionally play with those, and there has been seasons like where they were the top 2 AD carries.
Oh
But
wait,
playing like niche stuff like Heimerdinger, it's like
yeah, I mean,
unless you're like really good at Heimerdinger, like that'd be like the only time I think people can ever actually play with the Heimerdinger.
but yeah, what I was about to say is that it's also the point where if you like do the meta, it's just like you just I'm sorry, but sometimes I feel like the meta is just way too easy to play. Whereas you should learn to play when you're like if you're for example, if you want to one trick a champion, you should play that champion a lot, even if they're like not meta, and learn them just so that when they are meta, you're just gonna be like
Oh
you're just
yeah,
perfectly
I
fine
mean
and you'll
that's
do better.
that's not bad to do either. I mean, Antibot is a prime example of that. Like he pretty much is a one trick Annie player, and he's always one tricked her regardless of like what the meta is. And he was just so good at the champion, like it didn't really matter like how bad the champion was, like he was still
Brisker.
able to come through.
Brisker's another example. One tricking Twisted Fate all the time.
Yeah.
Um, you can't say Tobias Fate because he plays a lot of Urgot as well, other than Gangplank, but
All right. I think we're about to get in here.